Hey everybody, HMV here, playing more Kerbal Space Program, and the guys are still at Duna. They are, the guy and the girl, I should say, are still at Duna. They are going to be there for a while, so I figured we're going to finish off the series with a blast, and that blast is going to involve an asteroid that we are going to grab and hopefully take somewhere. I don't know where. But we're gonna mine it for fuel, just for funsies. If you look here, I have targeted the asteroid. We know it's gonna be coming in this way, swooping around the south pole of Kerbin and heading off this way. Or I think I just did it the wrong way. It's gonna be coming up here, swooping around and coming up this way. So we need to launch to the northwest. Basically now we wanna go forward just a little bit, probably about here. And then in 3, 2, 1. Linda Kerman is gonna launch. Look at that. That's a thing of beauty right there. Okay. Oops, we want to go this way, actually. Got 4 vectors. Victor. We also have drop tanks. I want to lock this drop tank. We also want the computer on. That's the problem. Other than I'm bad at this game. The fact that the computer's not on is a bad thing. Okay, yep, just watching my apoapsis here. We are going up. These solids are going to go first. Then I'm going to drop the drop tanks. Then it's just getting this thing into orbit is the order of the day. We've basically fixed our aim problem here, so now it's just get on up. Oh, look at that. Bye-bye. But yeah, I got vectors. I'm not used to them. I'm not used to engines with such gimbal on them, but they're basically handling the entire launch for us. I'm also not used to launching not at the 90-degree angle, but we should be fine. In my test launches, of which I made many, this ran out right about the same time we got an apoapsis of 40. I think it's going to run out a little bit earlier this time, but it shouldn't be a big deal. Maybe not, though. Yeah, pretty close. But now we are a lean, mean asteroid hunting machine. And I apologize to anybody down here who lives in these mountains. You're probably going to have tanks falling on your house. Okay, let's check our ascending and descending nodes here. We're 4.7 degrees. I have no idea. It looks like we need to go a little bit farther north. Yeah, so let's cheat this thing a little bit north to save as much fuel on the fixing of the orbit as we can here. We're gonna cut the engine when we get to 80 kilometers no matter what. And it looks like 1.9 is about the best we can do, yeah. Okay, there we go. Now I want to get rid of these things because they had fuel in them, but I don't want to get rid of them yet because they are they're aerodynamic, obviously. But when we get up to 60, I'm gonna do a quick backflip. And then we are going to toss these things backwards. We'll probably start the backflip now. There they go. We'll just keep it going. And then you get aimed prograde. Linda is not a pilot. She's an engineer. You want an engineer, obviously, on an asteroid hunter when you're drilling it. But we do have a nice big antenna here buried into the middle of this truss section. I'm sure it would work exactly as designed in order to get us going. We also have a bunch of stuff to do once we get into orbit. We also have Rover Dude has a new mod that came out. I don't know when this is going up, probably on Tuesday. Maybe Wednesday, depending on how quickly I edit it. But he came out on Monday night. He came out with a mod where this is not a docking port and these are not docking ports. They function as docking ports. This is going to dock to here, and then they are going to fuse together and become a one solid part, which is frankly pretty freaking awesome. Also, check this out. Action groups. I remembered my action groups. It's like I know what I'm doing. Okay, we need to burn ourselves up to an 80 by 80 orbit here. We'll start at about 5 seconds till, because this is a pretty beefy ship. We don't want to push our apoapsis too far away. There we go, 80 by 60 something, 80 by 70. $80 by 80, perfect. Pretty simple maneuver here to get ourselves right at the asteroid's periapsis with our apoapsis. It's estimating 2 seconds. I cannot imagine that's correct, but it's probably not a minute. Let's hit F5, and at a minute, I'm going to hit the gas just to check it. Yeah, it's a 22-second burn. That's just ridiculously cheap. Don't really need the maneuver node anymore. We're just getting our apoapsis right up to here. I hit X instead of Z. There we go. Okay, now at our ascending node here, we need to burn negative, which is up because we're going backwards. That should be 0. Perfect. We can't aim at that, but we know that we're going to be aiming that way. There we go. 0, and it's right on the thing, so it'll make it really easy to match that now. Okay, now we are set. Now for the fun part. We need to assemble the ship. I'm going to utilize something in 1.2 that we couldn't do before, and that's the auto struts. What we're going to do here is we're going to attach these things up here in a plus pattern. So when we grab the asteroid, we can auto strut to it and get a really secure connection and push a Class E from the side. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to, let's see, where's this guy? Here he is. We're going to disconnect him. And then we're also going to decouple one of these things, which I'm going to hit F5 before, because during testing, I a couple times accidentally undid the decoupler instead of the node. So we're going to control from his docking port here. We're going to find the thing we just did. We're going to set that as our target. We're going to turn on RCS, get into locked mode like we like. And we are going to do a lot of dockings. Oh, this is going to be fun because it's really dark. But this guy's quite spry. And I have another thing that I love about the newer versions. This was actually a thing in 1.1. I'm going to put on fine control mode here. Is notice the RCS jets aren't running when I rotate, only when I translate. That makes everything easier in the world. So I'm just kind of aiming myself on this I-beam here. That's pretty good. Watching the nav ball, making sure everything works the way I want it to. Don't see any chance that we're not going to nail this thing. There we go. Now we're going to control from here. And then we're going to set this as a target. I think we're still in locked mode, yeah. We're going to make sure we don't hit the solar panels. But we're going to aim at this thing. Yeah, I'm basically just looking down the I-beam, making sure the ship is roughly centered. And then I'm making my way to that port. And again, I'm sorry about the darkness. If I had Blizzy's ambient light mod, I would install it. But as far as I know, it's not a thing in in 1.2. But it looks like we're coming in pretty well. Although the ship seems to be rotating. There we go. I'm half watching the screen, half watching the nav ball. There we go. And see how it snaps it around? I love that. This thing will only attach in a certain way. And I think it's 90 degrees. But it's still not. Let me turn everything off. There we go. Now he's attached, so we don't have to worry about him anymore. And I need to do that 3 more times. You've seen it once. I'm not going to make you see it the other times. I will come back when he is fully attached. And as I come in to dock the last one, I would like to point out to you how much monoprop I've used. Less than 5 units to dock 4 of these things into their respective locations. And to be honest with you, I'm pretty proud of that. And I've even been a little cavalier with the monoprop usage. But this thing has actually been pretty good. I like it. He's not very well balanced, but he doesn't need to be because he's got that reaction wheel, and it's such small mass that the reaction wheels easily overcome the off-centeredness of the RCS jets. There we go. Bam, done and done. Let's go ahead and put him back in his home. Bam. And now we just have to wait 152 days until the asteroid's here. So, what a difference a day makes. I recorded everything before what you're seeing right here, before a big announcement on the on Reddit regarding developers of Kerbal Space Program who are no longer developers of Kerbal Space Program because they all quit. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure what to think about this. I'm also not 100% sure what to think about this potentially moon crossing orbit here. But yeah, we're in a post 2.0 world. What are you gonna say? Or I'm sorry, a post Kerbal Space Program world. I suspect that Kerbal Space Program will not be developed in the future. And that's that, I guess. Yep, there's our moon encounter. Dang it. So what do we have to do to make that not be a thing? We have to... There we go. Need to waste 34 meters per second. Not too bad. Not too bad. Okay, let's go ahead and do that. That's in 21 days. I'm gonna do this, and I'll be back. I'll be back to talk in a second. Okay, we have a connection, kind of. It is a crazy tweak here, and I basically can't do it. And I don't know what's up with Precise Node, but it just stopped working like a build and a half ago, and I've just been dealing with the fact that it doesn't work. But yeah, this tells me here that tweaking this encounter at 6 meters per second is going to be nuts. And I'm going to have to basically, I think I'm going to throttle the engines down to almost nothing because it is next orbit. But anyway, yeah, Kerbal Space Program, totally not going to be a thing that gets updated is my opinion, is my thoughts. And we're going to deal with that as the time comes. 1.2 looks like it's probably going to be the best update ever. At least the best version, I should say, of ever. Maybe not the best update. And it's thanks in massive part to the people who are leaving right now. And I'm not going to speculate on why they're leaving, how they came to that conclusion that they should leave or anything like that. It is what it is. People leave software projects all the time for various reasons. And it's not my job. I'm not involved in it. So yeah, that's just the way it's going to work. I still have yet to compact these guys. So let's go ahead and do that now, shall we? Let's hit F5 because I don't know if this is going to crash the game or what. But let's go ahead and check this out. Compress parts. Poof. Oh, there we go. Compress parts. Poof. Oh, yeah. More. Compress these parts. Bam. And last but not least, compress these parts. And now these are solid, rigid connections to the main ship. It's just that simple. Okay, here we come. Our our final burn before the encounter burn. And I totally remembered to throttle down the engines. Actually, let's turn one of them off on each side. And then throttle the other one down to 12. And we're still going to go down to basically nothing. We'll go down to about 20 seconds before. We'll hit Z and see what happens here. Yeah, see, it's still really, really accurate. Okay, we're also going to aim prograde. I think we can kill this. Now that we're past the node, there it is. So let's just go ahead and bring this down. Holding down control and tapping shift. It's probably about as close as we can really expect to get. There we go. Now we're just going to go here and then start aiming at it. And the asteroid is totally not here yet. It says it's going to be here in 55 minutes. But it's out there. And it's not arriving for 92 days. Okay. Then I guess, do we have this connection in 92 days? I'm going to hit F5 because I don't know what's going to happen here in 92 days. Let's find out together. This is all part of 1.2 being new. Hopefully that bird won't give us a moon encounter. Okay, here comes the asteroid. See, it's going to be there. And it's going to be there. Oops. Yeah, see, that was completely wrong. I don't know. I have no idea what that was trying to tell me, but whatever it was telling me was wrong. So we need to go back in orbit. I also need to focus on Kerbin here. We apparently can't focus on Kerbin, because that would be useful. Focus on the maneuver, Sun, Moho, Eve, Gilly, Kerbin. There we go. I don't know why when you have that problem with the maneuver nodes. There we go. That's what we wanted. Yeah, when you get that point of the maneuver nodes, you can't scroll. And I don't know what's up with that. Add a maneuver. Okay, here we want to, again, burn prograde. That's basically what we want right there. I'm actually going to hit a 5 here because I don't know how much closer I can get this. Perfect, perfect, perfect. 11 kilometers out. Okay, now we're going to hit F5, and we are going to warp to, let's say, here. Okay, now we want to aim... Actually, we just want stability assist now. And I think we're still too far away to get this well in hand. So let's go about halfway to where we want to be. We also want to be in target mode, not orbit mode. Yeah, we're going 46 meters per second relative to the target. We are perfectly fine as far as that's concerned. And we're also heading directly at the target, which is probably the best we could really expect. So I'm watching the nav ball here, and when I start to see that thing wander is when I'm gonna come back. And it is wandering now, but let's let it wander a little bit. Okay. Now we want to push this thing. We want to push our prograde. That's what you do. Or do you pull the prograde? I honestly don't remember. I think you push the retrograde and pull the prograde. These are things I should probably know. Yeah. We are getting closer. Our intersect 4.3, that's looking better. 2.4. 1.8. I don't know exactly how big this asteroid is going to be, so let's get a half a kilometer away, and we'll call that good. And then we're just going to aim retrograde to the target. We shouldn't be going much less than 50 meters per second compared to the asteroid when the time comes here. So let's hit F5. Let's get out of map mode. Let's go up to 50% throttle. And that's the moon. Oh my god, I was like, is that the asteroid? Although, how far away is the asteroid? The asteroid is only... I have no idea how far away it is. Where's Kerbin? There's the asteroid. 75 kilometers away. It makes sense that we're aiming retrograde relative to it. Yeah, I can't right-click it and see how far away it is. I think when you get within about 50 or 20 kilometers or something, the numbers just show up automatically. It's not 50. It's not 40. There we go. It's within 30 kilometers. Sadly, when it's going to be right in front of the sun, it's not going to be an actual physical object. That would be really cool. There it is. Yeah, I don't want to bring out the solar panels till we've gotten docked, because I'm a little terrified of everything when it comes to this asteroid. Well, I'm going to come around to the sunlit side, and then we're going to figure out where we're going to dock here. Let's get a little bit past it. We basically have an infinite amount of time, because we're not bringing this thing into Kerbin orbit or anything. We're writing it out of the system. I don't know exactly where we're going to go yet, but we're going to go somewhere. Maybe we'll go to Duna and meet the guys at Duna. Would that be fun? Okay. Let's go into locked mode here. It's kind of an orbit or a docking now. I kind of like this bump right here, kind of up and to the right of the asteroid. And we do have Werner engines, so I'm actually gonna use those to full effect here. I love those sounds. Those sounds are so great. And this guy has all of his RCS jets too, but that shouldn't really make that much of a difference. Also, we are going to go into, is it settings? Alt F12. Oh, look at all those exceptions. Map view, map is enabled, not found. That's bad. That might be one of my mods for all I know. Visualize auto struts. I want that on. There we go. So these are the auto struts on the ship right now. And these are the ones, these guys are attaching to the root part, and these guys are attaching to the heaviest part, which should be the asteroid when the time comes. Oh, and it's a special one. Awesome. This asteroid isn't just an asteroid. It's a liney one, whatever they're called. And apparently you can aim target at the thing. Let's try this. Oh, aim camera at that. And then we can basically see exactly when we are set the way we want to be as we pass by. But apparently you can't do locked mode and do that at the same time. So that's kind of garbage. Yeah, I kind of like this lump right here, for better or for worse. So let's get aimed so that lump is eventually going to be the center. Oh, that's so awesome. We have a fake now is that should be the center of mass, right? So we should actually be able to line that up too. That's a good idea here. If we are looking straight down our ship, then right now is when we want to stop. Because we are right on top of this thing. We might want to go over to the right a little bit. Or no, we want to go to the left a little bit. We want to bring the asteroid closer to its center of mass thing here. That should be perfect. Let's go into fine control mode. I would really like to get this on the first try. This looks perfectly fine by me. Ideally, we're going to grab it right on this bump. Although it looks like we're not going to actually grab it right on that bump. Basically bringing that bump down so that we interact with it directly. Aimed directly at it. Heading directly for it. Let's actually arm this thing. I thought I had armed it already, but apparently I didn't. I would love nav HUD right now. Oh, look at moons in the background. And oh, that's Kerbin Moon. If it wasn't for those struts, oh, they turn off. Here we go. It's now or never. Don't slide across the surface, please. Well, that's as good as we can get. It's just this thing is off center wobbly. Okay, and we're already wobbling a little bit. Let's turn off SAS for the moment. That might be a problem. Okay, let's deploy these drills, which I never set up in action groups. Let's start drilling. Actually, I might have set them up into action groups. I just don't remember it. I vaguely have this feeling that I've set them up into action groups. But okay, and then let's also hit 1 and 2. And then let's rotate this guy around, and look at that. Look at how great our reaction wheels are. Now our solar panels are in the sun, and our radiators are sideways to the sun. Let's get this guy going. And let's see if those radiators can actually do what we want. We are actually gaining ore faster than we are processing it. And we are processing it fairly quickly, which is always nice. And Linda is just going to get better and better as time goes on, which is cool. As she goes to new destinations. Time warping a little to let the heat get built up here. There we go. Look at that. Perfect. The heat there has maxed out at 500, and it's not going any further. The heat here is maxed out at 1,000, so it looks like 2 of these guys is perfectly fine. And they're only cooling 9%, so we could have gotten away with a lot less than that. I don't know exactly what was going on Ike, but we're good. We are good. I am going to figure out what I'm going to do with this guy, and we're all going to figure out what's going to happen with Kerbal Space Program. I hope you enjoyed watching this. One thing I do know about Kerbal Space Program is I'm going to keep playing it. I'm HMV, though, and I will, as always, talk at you later.